What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I'm your host, Kory Willis. Hope you guys are doing well on a Thursday. Hope the week so far has been very well to you as well. And, you're getting closer to the weekend, of course. As always, we appreciate you guys listening in on the show. As always, you can listen to us on multiple streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Amazon Audible, iHeartRadio, and many other streaming platforms out there. So we very much appreciate you guys listening in on the show. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the show. It helps us know what we're doing and helps us, build that success towards the future with the show, of course. So, very much appreciate it, guys. As always, I'm here with my good friend and co-host. You know who he is. He is Chris Bolton. What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, Kory? Feeling good, man. Trying to survive the days with no college football being played. But, with the world we live in, even though we don't have any games going on, college football doesn't sleep.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It doesn't sleep. You get Michigan winning the Natty, boom, Nick Saban retires. It's a whole trickle-down effect.
It does.
DeBoer goes to Bama, and Fish leaves Arizona, goes to Washington. Then the portal gets crazy and jumping. Ohio State just starts making it rain in the NIL game and just scooping up everybody.
Yeah,
it's been wild. Wow, January.
Jim Harbaugh goes back to the NFL.
Yeah.
It just doesn't stop,
Yeah. The NCAA, snooping around, seeing what Michigan got going on, and Jim Harbaugh pulled a Magic Johnson.
I ain't gonna be here. Or the SpongeBob, all right, I think I'm gonna head out. Oh man, but yeah, you said it, partner. It's so much happening, even in the background, of course. Even though we're, in the off season of college football, things are happening, of course.
Things are happening, yeah. This is, when there's a lot of moves happening that will lead to wins and losses this season. So we'll see how it all pans out come September.
Absolutely. Well, partner, of course, this isn't going to be a long show, folks. This is just to kind of go over some things, go over, especially like our final thoughts on what has, pretty much taken over the talk of college football since the national championship is Nick Saban leaving the Alabama, of course. And, from the last time we had talked, there were rumblings about who was going to be in charge at the University of Alabama, Chris. But, now we can pretty much name that man in charge of the Crimson Tide. He is Kalen DeBoer. Left Washington. Is now the head coach of the Crimson Tide. Of course, the last show that we recorded, you weren't on that episode, Chris. I just kind of gave my thoughts on it, and I looked at it as a great hire for Alabama, and that fans of the Tide need to be patient going forward. So now that you're here, Chris, I want the people to hear your thoughts on this hire. Was it a good hire? Was it a bad hire? What are your thoughts on it?
Initially, I feel like it's an interesting hire because I feel like DeBoer is a very good in-game coach. I think his teams have been well coached. And he's done well in the portal, being able to get a guy like Michael Penix and the success he's had at Washington. being able to get a guy like Dylan Johnson, and we saw the impact that he had in a lead tailback role, leaving Mississippi State, and a team that was, run and gun, wasn't your typical ideal situation for a tailback under the Mike Leach offense at that time, and what he's was able to do at Washington. So picked up some very nice portal grabs, and I'm curious to just see how that translates at Alabama. I think it's going to be a little rocky at first, and we'll see if he can get his feet settled and how things pan out. But I think it's a good hire. But even though it's a good hire, I'm curious, just like the rest of the world is, to see how this man succeeds. Old Saint Nick Saban. It's tough. I feel like you could have picked the number one guy on your board, and who's to say DeBoer isn't that? We don't know, but you could have got your pick of the litter and the number one guy on your list, and still, I would be sitting here saying the same thing. I really don't know how this will pan out. I think it's a good hire, but we'll see. We will see. But it was rough at first because we saw how the portal started jumping in T-Town. Even though the coach, it was jumping. I mean, it was you went to Mississippi State. You remember the Hunt Club? It was jumping like the Hunt Club. I mean, guys was getting in the portal. It was, before you know it, you had over 20 guys in the portal.
I mean, they were packed like sardines in that portal.
They were packed. It was that free before 9.
Yeah,
that's how everybody got in about 8:57, 8:58. They weren't trying to pay cover, so I mean that's how it was. But I feel like he's initially recovered well despite all the traction in the portal. Keep securing a guy like Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
5-star wide receiver, the darling of your recruiting class. Having him, we was worried, about, is he going to stay? Is he going to continue to be locked in? Mm-hmm. He's going to be at Alabama, which is a huge plus for this recruiting class, and a message too that there's still a chance that Alabama, it might not be at the levels of Nick Saban, but they will still get premier guys because Alabama is a premier program. So I think that will be very important. And I think maybe the fact that the AD, I think he sees what I see with DeBoer being a good coach and how important it is to have a true special, like a really good in-game coach. Because Bama will not be able to dominate the talent pool in recruiting like they have during the Nick Saban era. Don't get me wrong, Nick Saban was a spectacular coach, but he also had the best players in the nation. I mean, he was getting the best guys in every class and then coaching them up, which made them damn near unbeatable, as we've seen the success Nick Saban had there. So I think it's a different college football we're entering, and it's even more important to have a great X's and O's coach, because the talent level will be spread so far out throughout the landscape.
No, you're absolutely right. I think one of the biggest things that you can be rest assured with, if you're an Alabama fan right now, is that people left, but DeBoer fought hard to get people like Ryan Williams to stay in that class. And, that's a big step forward for that program if they want to, remain relevant. You get into a 12-team playoff now. That, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how grueling that's going to be for some teams, of course. But, when you're the University of Alabama and you won all of these championships. Hey,
Oh, this
you
year
gotta
coming
come
up
with.
is going to be rough.
It's gonna be rough.
Everybody will have them circle. The entire SEC conference is waiting and ready to get their lick back. All these coaches have been praying for this moment. Hey, what Meek Mill say? I used to pray for times like this.
Exactly.
They've been plotting and praying and couldn't wait for Nick to get out the way. And it's time for some get back.
Oh yeah. Can you just see the visual of just like everybody in the SEC, like all 15 other teams are just
just sitting there rubbing their hands. Hold on. You remember high school playing next?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they all doing. They rubbing their hands.
Oh
right
my
now.
gosh, man! They are just sharpening the pitchforks. They doing everything right now in the SEC.
Yeah.
If you're not the University of Alabama right now, they are getting prepared for payback.
They are. So it's it's going to be a crazy season. I mean, it's already crazy enough with adding the 12 teams to the playoffs, but you also couple that with Nick Saban being out the picture. The world is waiting for the demise of Alabama. So we'll see if DeBoer can keep things stable. There's been several great coaches to come through Bama, and a lot of guys have, after they left, things fell off.
Right.
So we'll see how DeBoer, his fate is in the Alabama coaching football picture now, how it will continue to play out.
Absolutely. It's not going to be easy, but I like I had said on the last show, Chris, it was, fans are going to have to be a little patient on this one.
You have to.
The good thing of it is, you see that people left, but you have some really good recruits that are still on board. You didn't keep Julian saying, of course, but that's okay. I think they'll be A-OK with Austin Mack transferring from Washington, and I know DeBoer looks at his upside as being a plus going forward for the Crimson Tide. So just looking at this list of recruits and transfers, of course, Bernard, the wide receiver, he also decided to transfer to Alabama as well. So there's talent that's coming along with him from Washington, along with the talent he's kept on board.
Yeah. They have some guys, and they will need them because, going to be honest, the schedule is it'll be challenging.
It will.
The challenge is you play at Wisconsin. Welcome Georgia. South Carolina's coming to town, and this is a get right year for those guys. At Tennessee, Missouri comes to town. At LSU, at Oklahoma, Iron Bowl at home. It won't be easy.
No, it won't be. They look all hands on deck in this new season or in this new era.
Saban ain't sticking around there, keeping his eyes on things for no reason now. Welcome to the SEC.
Exactly. He's like, I got my eyes on you, boy. I want to see how you get this team to perform in your first year.
It ain't your typical Alabama schedule. It's difficult. Difficult.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we'll see. I'm happy for him. He's a heck of a football coach, and yeah, like I said, I think for Alabama fans, just be patient, see how it goes.
Better, easier said than done,
yeah.
Brother. This is we're young, but we know our college football history. And Alabama fans and patience go together like water and oil.
It just don't go together.
It doesn't.
It just don't go together.
You can preach it all you want, but when the bullets start firing, when things get real, we about to see their true nature. You're gonna see it in year one if things don't go according to plan. So we'll see.
We will see. We will see. But yeah. Any other things you want to mention about that, Chris, before we go on to our last topic of the show?
Nah, we keep it pushing.
All right, man. All right. Well, now we will segue over to this lawsuit against the NCAA, Chris. Tennessee and Virginia attorney generals. This is a article by The Athletic. Shout out to David Ubben that wrote this article. Tennessee, Virginia attorney generals file lawsuit against NCAA over restrictions on NIL for recruiting. This has been a bit of a topic, of course, when it pertains to the Tennessee Volunteers and their recruitment over Tennessee quarterback Nico Iamaleava, and his recruitment over NIL and just getting him on board there. What are your thoughts about this, Chris? Just because Tennessee is pretty much, looking at this and saying, "Hey, look, we're innocent. We went through the depths of the NCAA and everything. Like, look, we're doing things the right way this time.
Yes,
not the Jeremy Pruitt way, because that was bad."
Man, you are hard pressed to find me on the side of the NCAA. I feel like the NCAA a lot of times be in the way. A lot of times how they keep guys ineligible for no reason out of pettiness when you're supposed to be working for the student athletes. You would think an organization in place to monitor universities and student athletes, they would work to find ways to make guys eligible. The NCAA, we have countless stories of them doing the opposite. Yep. So now in this situation, when you're having Tennessee, what the NCAA has accused Tennessee of, Tennessee has had enough, and rightfully so. Every other month, the NCAA, they are changing something in regards to the rules and regulations of NIL. So how can you and according to what has been what's been charged against Tennessee when it came to how they recruited Nico and stuff that was done with NIL with that stuff was tweaked afterwards, after it had occurred between Tennessee and Nico. You can't go back in time now and try to punish them for something that was cool then to do, that was under the guidelines. But now you tweak it months later and now isn't.
It's wishy-washy.
The nerve of the NCAA, man.
Look, man, they look, at this point now, I can scream it off of a mountaintop right now, Chris. Like, I'm of the opinion, like, we just do not need the NCAA at this point anymore. They're in the way of these guys actually making a living, of course. And I mean, this
and they took the college football video game away from us.
I know, like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like according to the article, like a collective agency, an independent collective agency that we see all the time, of course. They're even dealing with the pending video game right now, Spire Sports. It helped this guy allegedly to get his NILs, going through the process of working with him and everything. And for the NCAA, it's like we don't like that. So, I mean, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation, and it's just like what gives? What is acceptable and what is not?
It doesn't make any sense. This should have been regulated and had hard set rules and regulations before NIL hit the streets, for lack of a better term. Before everybody started making money off their name, image, and likeness. And we heard that from a guy that we just finished talking about. Nick Saban has been said, y'all got to get this together.
Screaming it from the rooftops.
From the rooftops. I mean, he was out there in front of the boosters like, look, y'all. Look, come on, man. You see what they doing over there at A&M?
Do you see it? I see it. Look what Jimbo doing.
Them boys out there buying players, man. We got to get this under control. Man.
It's crazy.
And look, they still buying players. Like, I mean, this is what it is.
That's what it is. It's like there's no way around it now. Like when players could finally profit off their name, image, and likeness, it opened the floodgates. Like, I mean, not everyone is clearly, doesn't like it over what some other people are doing, over others. But, it is what it is. Like,
it is what it is.
I mean, the only way for things to probably be like a little bit more fair, I guess you can say, is if each state agrees with a certain amount or certain terms of an agreement. But that's never going to happen because the states govern themselves,
and the states want their state to be the best.
Exactly.
So if one state's a little stricter on some things, the other one's going to be a little looser. And then when Alabama's loose on something, Tennessee's going to be like, let's be a little looser and softer on these rules because we want to beat Alabama. And then Georgia's going to peek over at Tennessee and be like, you know what? Let's be a little softer than what they got going on in Tennessee because we trying to win some natties too. So there's, like you said, I think we don't need an NCAA.
No.
It's already, when you look at the conference sizes now, the Big Ten and the SEC are just huge at this point. They might as well just govern themselves.
Pretty much.
College football is turning more and more into the NFL, and the NFL already just has the AFC and the NFC conferences. And that's what the Big Ten and the SEC are. I mean, we love college football, but who's the casual going to be worried about? They just worried about the SEC and Big Ten schools.
Exactly. That's all. Nothing more.
At this point, it's like you said, NCAA is just in the way. But I applaud Tennessee. I think Tennessee will ultimately be found right in the ruling that they won't be affected, and his eligibility will be intact, and everything will be fine come season start. I think they're right for standing up for their guy because you don't want him to transfer.
Right.
And I think the SEC soon, I think we'll hear Sankey. He will say something, not necessarily condemning the NCAA, because I mean he has the balls too, but he will say something, I feel like, in support of Tennessee. Not necessarily condemning. I think you can support Tennessee as a school in your conference without saying something wrong or talking down about the NCAA. We can talk about the NCAA all we want. We ain't stunning them. But Sankey, he got children to feed. You know what I'm saying? He got a family. He worked for there's the SEC, and above him there's the NCAA. So he still got some lines to tightrope.
Absolutely. So yeah, he's playing it. He's gonna play it as safe as he possibly can, of course.
Right. Right.
But when it's time for him to not hold a punch, Chris, he is not the guy to doubt on that.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
He will pow out of nowhere.
Hey,
Unpredictable.
He is a little unpredictable for sure. But yeah, the NCAA, it's jacked up what's going on. But kudos to Tennessee for fighting back.
Yeah, and we'll definitely follow this story, of course, as we continue throughout the off season, and everything. So it's going to be interesting.
And like last little point. This might be what it takes to get things rolling in that for the NCAA for other schools to see the lack of the need for the NCAA.
Right.
There's always something that happens that triggers the big move. Mm-hmm. So this could be part of the rally for maybe in the next 10 years. We potentially, we'll see a different college football that might not have the NCAA. We'll see.
But yeah, we'll definitely stay tuned with it. I know there'll be a lot of stuff going on when it pertains to this lawsuit and the video game and all that stuff.
Please don't mess up. I've been waiting to get this game. We've already talked. We got to get this online dynasty cracking. I'm ready for connected dynasty mode. We will be the most undisciplined team in the Southeastern Conference, but you will make money if you come to my university. I'm ready to get this going. I need the college football video game, and I don't need the NCAA in any way getting in the way.
Exactly. Get out the way. How about that?
Get out the way. Move. Go on somewhere.
Oh my gosh. No, I definitely agree with you. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think Tennessee being bullish, sticking out their chest, step in the right direction. Don't allow these guys to bully you around, of course, if you haven't done anything wrong. Of course. So.
It sounds like they got the receipts. So things, look like they'll work out in their favor. As long as you got the receipts, you good.
Absolutely. Well, partner, like I said, this was a short show, folks. We always appreciate y'all listening in on the show.
For sure.
Before we
short, but still a lot of laughs.
It's still a lot of laughs. Information. Still, very informative. Of course, just
hope y'all enjoyed the quick sprint.
Yeah, absolutely. we plan to do a lot more of these episodes during the off season, of course, as things kind of start to happen with spring practices and National Signing Day is official National Signing Day is coming up and everything. So we'll definitely delve into the biggest winners and losers of that and just going forward throughout the off season.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but yeah, Chris. Before we head out, let the good folks know where they can find you on social media.
Holla at your boy on X at Chris_Bolton_12 and on Instagram at Chris.Bolton_. We can chop up about anything. Wrestling. We just had the Rumble. That was crazy.
It was crazy.
We're getting closer and closer to SummerSlam is going to be coming eventually. We're going to have Mania. This is going to be a wild Mania.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, we won't get a Punk at Mania.
Yeah. No Punk. I'm not mad at it. I mean, he's nice. He's nice, but I ain't mad at it.
Look, it's always a summer of Punk.
Hurt by that.
We can always get another summer of Punk. I'm always for that.
Oh man, but you can holler at me on there. I mean, like I said, wrestling. I love my boxing. I'm ready for Canelo to stop. I feel like he's avoiding David Benavidez. We'll see. He always fights on May 4th. That's just the day you can go ahead and put on the calendar. That Canelo will be fighting around then. So we'll see who's announced as his next fight. I'm hoping it's David Benavidez. It better be David Benavidez. Stop running. Don't run from my boy. I don't need none of that. And I love my hoops too. So just you can holler at me about all of that on Twitter or on X.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. And y'all can follow me as well on X. At Listen to KSW, all one handle. I'm on there talking professional wrestling. Of course, any news during college football off season, of course. College basketball is still going on right now. My Mississippi State Bulldogs, men and women, are doing an excellent job trying to stay alive.
Good hoops. Tough loss to Ole Miss for the men, man. That was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Great game. But the women got the dub over LSU.
Hey, look, anytime you can get a dub over, some defending national champions, look, hey, I'm all for it.
Every time. We're going to take it every time. So you will.
I'm all for it. So, yeah. But yeah, definitely follow me on there, of course. But, yeah, other than that, y'all, we appreciate y'all listening in to the show, of course. And we plan to be back, as many times as possible, of course. I know we're in the off season and everything, but I just say stay tuned to our social media and everything, and stay tuned to any updates that happens around college football, of course. I know I mentioned like recruiting and everything. We'll definitely be here to provide our thoughts and information that comes our way, of course. But yeah, until next time, y'all be easy, take care, and we will catch y'all later. Peace.